A very warm welcome to Racing WA TV on a fantastic Sunday afternoon at the KBRC. My name is Lockie Taylor and today I'm joined by Riley Morgan for what is a fantastic day of racing ahead. Not only are we covering all the action here at Kalgoorlie, Riley, but we're also covering the action at 2J, and it stands to be a terrific day of racing ahead.
Certainly does, Lockie. It's a pleasure to be joining you here at the KBRC, and the weather has really turned it on for my first trip out here as well. There's going to be plenty of racing statewide here in WA across the weekend. The Blue Spec Boulder Cup is the feature here today, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Let's have a look at those horses in the Boulder Cup. What are you most looking forward to? Iowa, he's come across to the west to Simon Miller. Derby Racing, we all know what they've done with Overpass in not only the Winterbottom but the Quokka as well. And they look like they have a really nice horse on the rise as well.
They certainly do. They've had great success here in WA, haven't they, Lockie? And Iowa's been no exception since he has joined the stable of Simon Miller. They've worked out this horse does his best work when he has his run spaced. He's handled carrying the weight, he's handled the staying trips, he's versatile, he can take a sit, he's won with a sit, he's won from in front as well. So I think it's going to be a fascinating battle and going to be a fascinating betting market when we get a little bit closer to the Boulder Cup a bit later on this afternoon, as they're neck and neck at the moment at the head of the market, both Iowa and also the Grant and Allana Williams trained horse in Starry Heights.
Exactly right, and also the 2J Cup, which we're really keen to be following a little later on today. But let's have a look at the horses in the yard for race number 1 here at the Kalgoorlie Turf Club. The Goldfields Little Loads Maiden over 1,200 metres, and the first horse we'll take a look at is the one, Science Degree, for Brett Drury and Clint Johnson Porter.
This horse had his first run for Brett Drury last time out after crossing from Victoria, and was a really strong run from a wide barrier Lockie into second behind Camera Action, and that looks the right form with Camera Action, a really strong subsequent Class 1 winner in town on Wednesday. I'm a little bit worried about where Clint Johnson Porter might get him to from the barrier. It does look a little sticky on paper with horses drawn underneath looking to hold spots, but that last start form reference on its own is going to hold him in very good stead with punters.
And with that in mind, that form reference has him $3.10 into $2.20. The 2 is Gems Man for Jeff Eels and Tash Faithful.
Back to 1,200 metres today, and the booking of Tash Faithful are both ticks for Gems Man, but he's had a few chances now for mine. 3,
the Musra, Helen Harding, Braden Garth.
Recent form is poor and can't see where the improvement comes from.
4, Kratesis is well in the market. Currently your second favourite for Grant and Allana Williams. Willie Pike takes the ride.
Kratesis was pretty luckless in that same form race as Science Degree last start, Lockie behind Camera Action. Willie Pike ended up in a tricky spot, 3 back the fence in a bunching field on straightening, and never got a crack at them when she looked as though she had plenty to offer. Pike will know he's drawn directly alongside another key danger in Science Degree, and don't be surprised to see him try and track Clint Johnston Porter's every move. Drawn to stay out of trouble this time around, and that could well prove a blessing in disguise.
5, Lynn's Dakota has the blinkers coming off today for her first start for the David Smith yard. Lakdar Ramoli in the saddle.
Overdid things a bit in the blinkers last start off a slow tempo, and they opt to rip them straight off here. Despite overdoing things, actually travelled into the race on straightening like she had a fair bit under the hood, but went to the line still on the bridle, completely blocked from on straightening until they were past the post, Lockie, so you can forgive that run. She loses Brad Parnham for Lakdar Ramoli, but drawn to stay out of trouble here and hold a nice position in running.
6, Queen of Chaos, third up here today. First start for Paul Tapper, Christy Bennett in the saddle.
Gets here 6 weeks between runs after setting a strong tempo in front at Northam over 1,300 metres and tiring late last start. Back to 1,200 metres should suit, as does a dry deck and being drawn the inside to kick through to lead this. But off that spacing between runs, for me, Lockie, a windward surprise and needs to improve on her form.
The 7 is Please Mister. Pacifiers go on today for Peter Fernie and Lucy Fury.
Should improve for having the run under the belt. Set a strong tempo in front first up after being made to absorb some real pressure down the Charles Street side, and was still there with 150 metres to go. I think if Lucy Fiore can cross and get things a bit more cheaply here, she'll certainly give them something to catch.
The 8, Sun Cozzy, is a scratching. So the last horse we'll take a look at is the 9, 6th Avenue for Helen Hardy and Chloe Azzopardi.
Was very well beaten on debut, Lockie, and this has a little bit more depth to it, I think.
Before Brett Drury leaves the mounting yard, we'll catch up with him for a word. Good afternoon to you, Brett.
Afternoon,
Great
Brett.
to see you, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, good. It's a beautiful day, and yeah, nice day here. And this is where it all sort of starts, our bigger racing, so it's exciting.
How has the season been for your stable and in fact the whole Kalgoorlie racing community throughout the first half of the season anyway?
Yeah, it's been great, but I've got a new nickname. They call me Minute. A lot of seconds.
So you're happy with how the horse is going, but I suspect Peter Fernie's dominance might be to your frustration.
Yeah. Always running second to Pete, but that's all right. It's good stake money.
Let's have a chat about your horse here in the first, Science Degree. What did you make of his last start?
Yeah, he probably raced a bit fresh. I wanted to trial him 2 weeks earlier, and they pulled the pin on the trial, not enough runners, and he just over raced a bit. But with camera action winning in town, it's a bit of a form reference, and he's come on. So, you know, he did sit 3 wide first up too.
You speak of his freshness that was on display last start. Have you seen anything in him behind the scenes to suggest that the edge perhaps has been taken out of him?
Oh, not really. He's a really relaxed horse to have around the stable. What you see him over racing in his race last start, that's not the way he works. He's a pretty casual sort of customer.
All going well. Do you expect him to be hard to beat in the first?
Yeah, look, the barrier's the thing. If he can get across, I think Clint was pretty keen to try and lead. He led one day at Pakenham and run him along and stuck on and run second. So that's plan A, and we'll see how he goes.
Fingers crossed. Great to see you, my friend, and thanks for your time.
Thanks so much. Cheers.
There's Brett Drury with a word on Science Degree, the favourite in the opener. Does look like he's found a really nice race, and punters agree into $2.15 now. Kratesis is on the second line of betting at $2.40. Please, Mister, now in the care of Peter Fernie, is a $7 chance, and Linz Dakota is $6 out to $9.50. Riley, how did you order them in the opener?
I ordered them 4, 1, 7 and 5, Lockie, and with the 4 on top in Kratesis, I just thought if William Pike could jump and track the every move of Science Degree, who's drawn to his direct inside, I think that she's going to get a lovely run this time around. She was luckless last start. I think he can keep her out of trouble here, and I thought that when she was, I guess, blocked for a run on straightening last time out, that she had plenty to offer in the straight. So 4, 1, 7 and 5 for me from the 1 Science Degree, who has been very well backed at his second start for Brett Drury. 7, Please Mister. I think if Lucy Fiore can get across with this galloper, then he can give some cheek in front. And 5, Linz Dakota, who was luckless through that same form reference last start as well. They take the blinkers off her after she got a little bit keen in the run there as well, Lockie. But my numbers here in race number 1 on Blue Spec Drilling Boulder Cup Day, 4, 1, 7 and 5, and with the 4 Kratesis on top.
4 Kratesis on top for Riley Morgan in the first. The Goldfields Little Loads Maiden over 1,200 metres. What a fantastic day we have here at the KBRC, Riley. Your first time on course, and it has absolutely delivered in spades.
It certainly has. It's a terrific racetrack as well, Lockie. Thanks for giving me a little bit of a tour and a walking through a little bit earlier today. But no, I'm not as well versed as yourself here in the Wild West, as some of my friends coin it. But it looks to be a terrific day's racing here at the KBRC.
Absolutely, and the crowd is building as well. I suspect when our feature of the day is Run and One, the Blue Spec Drilling Boulder Cup, it'll only continue to grow and grow, and I'm really looking forward to that clash between mainly Iowa. That's the horse that I'm really keen to be with in the feature of the day. So stay tuned on Racing WA TV. We have all the action covered here, not only in Kalgoorlie, but over in 2J as well. But Riley is with our second favourite in Kratesis. He's taking our man Brett Drury on in the opener as we hand you upstairs to Royce Newton, who'll be calling all the action here this afternoon. Good afternoon to you, Royce.
So runners will start to come forward for the first, the Goldfields Little Loads. And the first of them will be Queen of Chaos. Showed some encouraging performances around the Metro district now with Paul Tapper. So they're just working on Please Mister. The pacifiers on today. So Please Mister to come forward. In the saddle is Lucy Fiore, who's been riding the Kalgoorlie track in magnificent style. There goes the favourite, Science Degree. Just the one start at the track for replacing last time out behind camera action. 6th Avenue about to come forward. Helen Harding combining with Joey Azzopardi today, 6th Avenue. Only had the one start to date. Finished last behind Dreambrook. That was 4 weeks ago. As Jem's Man goes forward, another Esperance galloper trained by Jeff Eels. So Linz Dakota to come forward for new trainer Dave Smith. Looked a picture in the yard, Linz Dakota. Look for improvement on its last run. So Kratesis still out of line with the musterer. Kratesis comes forward now. He's got a good book of rides today, William Pike, to be expected. And of course, he'll partner Starry Heights in the Boulder Cup, race 7, 4:30 Western Standard Time. Okay, the musterer to come forward, 1,200 metres ahead of them, a field of 8 in the Goldfields Little Loads Maiden. Stand by. We're about to get underway on Boulder Cup Day. Gates fly back, they're off, racing. Now, Gem's Man missed the start slightly. The musterer going back towards the tail as well with early speed from out wide. Science Degree working forward together with also Please Mr. Queen of Chaos is going to settle down third just ahead of Lynn's Dakota the outside. A further 2.5 then. We had 6th Avenue, who's down on the inside. The outside of it, Kratesis, who's just worse in midfield. A further 2.5 then to the musterer. And Gem's Man is at the tail, so the pace on. It's Science Degree, who eventually found the top, shows out a 1.5 lengths. Running second, Please Mr. Then we had Lynn's Dakota in a nice position. The fence next of all was Queen of Chaos. Then we had Kratesis, who starts his run. Further back to 6th Avenue, followed next of all by Gem's Man, and it's the musterer at the tail. 400 metres to run as they come into the straight. It's Science Degree, hasn't been asked for yet. The outside, Lynn's Dakota, starts to extend between runners. Please Mr. and Kratesis down the outside under hard riding. It's Science Degree in front. Here comes Kratesis. Please Mr. closer to the fence. It's Science Degree in front. The outside, Kratesis levels up now, and it's going to be Kratesis who wins the first. Kratesis goes on and wins 3/4. Second, Science Degree. Third in, we had Please Mr. Followed in next of all by Queen of Chaos. Followed by Lynn's Dakota. Well back then to Gem's Man, 6th Avenue, and last in the musterer. Number 4, Kratesis. Ground down Science Degree. And that last 100 grabbed the lead with 50 to run and has gone on to win by 3/4 of a length. Kratesis, your winner. 4 will beat the 1. 7 will get third, Please Mr. And 6, Queen of Chaos. Not a bad run. First look at the track. 4-1-7-6 will be the interim numbers. Kratesis for Grant and Allana Williams. Kick off the day in good style. Likewise, William Pike by Deepfield from Karori, owned by the Darling View Thoroughbreds Syndicate. Kratesis breaking through at start 9 today. Second in the 1, Science Degree. Brett Drury and Clint Johnston Porter by All Too Hard from Coco XL. Owned by Mrs. P. Riley, J. Riley, S. Riley, M. Riley, D. Trow, E. Trow, A. Trow, E. Trow. Also H. Donald, S. Fleming and Brian Pascoe. Third in the 7, Please Mr. Please Mr. is third. And that is for Peter Fernie and Lucy Fiore. By War Chant from Ms. Lecky, owned by Mrs. A. Ingalls, G. Ingalls, G. Ingalls, K. Fernie, J. Fernie, S. Jackson and C. Rig, and all ladies syndicate there, Please Mr. And fourth in the 6, Queen of Chaos for Paul Tapper and Christy Bennett. 4-1-7-6, the interim. Those margins a length by 1 3/4, a length by 1 3/4. And it goes to Kratesis in the Goldfields Little Loads Maiden. Race 2 is next. That's the Tab Touch Maiden, taking out the 12. 1 o'clock somewhere, your early favourite. Date with the Devil, 195, just into the red. And you guessed it, that man aboard once again. William Pike will partner Date with the Devil, Grant and Allana Williams. Train the favourite in the next. That's coming up in 32 minutes' time.
Wasn't quite favourite with Science Degree, really well backed late, Riley, but as you touched upon, the speed was on and Kratesis had that lovely run and just chimed in late.
Yeah, the speed was on there, Lockie, and William Pike was able to find a lovely spot with this horse, and once she was able to get that cover 3 back and 1 off the fence, she was going to be hard to beat with the pace that was on, and she loomed up and was able to get the job done in really stylish fashion.
Exactly right. A great start to the day for Grant and Allana Williams and also Willie Pike. They have a great hand of runners here this afternoon at the KBRC. So they're a stable that we need to be following throughout this afternoon's program. And Willie Pike, he's got a great book of rides and he's now catching up with Riley Morgan.
Yes, thank you, Lockie. I'm joined by William Pike, winning jockey of race number 1 in the program. Willie, She was pretty luckless last start, but once she was able to find that lovely spot and running today, she gave you a great feel.
Yeah, she's pretty unlucky. I was a bit rusty last fortnight down here. It's a tricky track to ride at times, and I just wasn't on the ball, so I was happy to make amends today.
Was there a real confidence from the camp off the back of that luckless run last start that she could come here today and get the job done?
Yeah, definitely. Just thought it was even luck. She'd be right in the mix. Yeah, and that was the case today. We got a very nice position and was able to capitalise on it late.
Very likely that we will be catching up again a little bit later on in the program. What's the confidence levels with Starry Heights heading into the Blue Spec Drilling Boulder Cup? Are you confident that he'll stay out the journey today?
I'm confident he'll stay out the journey, but no, I'm not that confident overall just because he's a back marker on a tricky track. The main horses to beat are going to be up front making their own luck. But I've got the right horse, I've got the right team. We can do it. We'll see how I'm going later in the day.
Congratulations on a good start to the day.
There's Willie Pike combining with Grant and Allana Williams and Kratesis to take out the first here at the KBRC, the Goldfields Little Loads Maiden.